I'm so happy and still in disbelief that RM shared his birth time on his Instagram story. So let's dive right in. We now know for sure that his ascendant is in Sagittarius. The persona RM projects out into the world is that of the philosopher. Sagittarius loves the exploration of knowledge and wisdom. The ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter in Scorpio, which is in his 11th house. There is a drive in him to understand the emotional, psychological, and spiritual truths that impact his peers, friends, and social circles. Jupiter is known as the planet of luck and abundance, and it's especially fortunate in the 11th house. Ascendant ruled by Jupiter in this position bestows RM with luck, success, and the ability to gain both honor and respect. Jupiter's harmonious trine to Saturn and Mars grants him with sound judgment, wisdom, and a strong sense of integrity. The water trine formed by these planets in Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer deepens his capacity for empathy and compassion. His understanding of pain and suffering fuels his drive to take a practical, grounded approach to protecting and supporting others. RM's moon is also in Sagittarius, conjunct his ascendant, which allows him to express his emotions openly and outwardly, making his feelings readily apparent to others. With his moon in the 12th house, his life's journey involves experiences that draws him towards introspection, spiritual awareness, and a deeper understanding of life's unseen currents. He has a strong intuitive sense and can easily pick up on the emotions of others, but his own emotions can be a puzzle to him. The 12th house moon is a difficult place for his inner and private world. Things are often subtle or unconscious in the 12th house. Deborah Holding states in her book The Tempers of the Sky that any planet in the 12th house is reflective of karmic hangovers or sacrificial life missions, or a place where we must learn to simply bear the burdens that are not easily overcome. RM often deals with hidden or repressed emotions that can be difficult to access or understand. It's a challenge for him to experience his emotions fully, clearly define them, or pinpoint needs. This in part is likely to be the driving force for his quest for answers. The 12th house is also about retreat, so he needs periods of isolation for inner work. Emotional recharge often comes from time spent alone, away from the world. His moon is square to the sun. This causes an internal friction. His emotions pull him in one direction while his ego and willpower pull him in another. His moon in Sagittarius is open-minded, optimistic, but the Virgo sun is critical, exacting, and leans towards pessimism. This inner struggle may lead him to seek absolute clarity and certainty in his understanding of the world. His Virgo sun craves precision, order, and logical structure, while his Sagittarius moon values exploration, broad perspectives, and open-ended thinking. As a result, he might struggle with accepting ambiguity or contradictions, feeling compelled to categorize things into clear, definitive truths or black and white thinking. However, life is full of paradoxes, ideas that seem contradictory yet are both true in their own way. His challenge is to reconcile this need for precision with the reality that some things cannot be neatly explained or resolved. The sun and moon also represent the masculine and feminine energies within him, respectively. When these two are in discord, it creates a challenge in forming harmonious and fulfilling partnerships. This internal divide may manifest in a pattern of relationships where he feels his true self is not fully accepted, mirroring the tension between his anima and animus, the contrasting masculine and feminine aspects within him. On top of this, RM's moon is square to Saturn, which can bring self-limiting fears and emotional complexes. While he can be compassionate and caring towards others, he can be self-denying, self-limiting, or overly critical of himself. This internal struggle may make it difficult for him to extend the same warmth and understanding to himself that he offers to others. Rather than processing his emotions with ease, he may encounter internal resistance, leading to tension, suppression, or even a battle against his own feelings. Don't get me wrong, RM is able to express and talk about feelings. His moon sextile to Mercury gives him the ability to articulate emotions, but it's more from an analytical and philosophical philosophical lens. He's gifted at intellectualizing emotions. But feeling and living authentically in accordance with his personal emotions is another matter. With the moon quincunx Mars, emotional intelligence becomes a key element in attraction and intimacy. The intellectual and intuitive exchange that happens on an emotional and psychic level may be incredibly stimulating for RM. He's drawn to those who can read between the lines and understand emotional cues. He craves a partner who can navigate emotional depth, who has the ability to bring out hidden emotions in him, someone who can help him get in touch with his inner self. There's an inherent need for him to recognize that for him, true intimacy involves deep emotional vulnerability. RM's ninth house sun is a very positive and powerful place that strengthens his ego, will, and confidence. Even in interception, the sun is in the house of its joy here. This brings fortune and luck overseas and in foreign lands. Sun here also gives him the ability to teach and lead. He could be a great religious or a spiritual leader as well. The Sun's trine to Neptune and Uranus makes him a natural mystic and an artist. He possesses a visionary spirit marked by creativity, originality, and a forward-thinking mindset. Neptune fuels his gentle, artistic, and intuitive nature, while Uranus enhances his progressive outlook and openness to new ideas. With a strong inner vision, he is highly aware of cultural and societal trends, understanding how he fits into the bigger picture. Rather than moving through life aimlessly, he actively considers his role in the world, how his actions impact others, and how he can contribute meaningfully to society. Mercury in Libra is conjunct his midheaven. Beyond his music and artistry, he is recognized for his intelligence and ability to convey ideas with clarity and elegance, and this is due to his very visible Mercury here. Libra is a social and diplomatic sign that is concerned with peace, balance, and fairness. With Mercury in Libra, RM has a natural ability to see all perspectives, think objectively, and express himself with grace and charm. His communication style is not only articulate and thoughtful, but also aesthetically appealing to listen to. Mercury square to Mars can make him argumentative and intellectually competitive, but also gives him an authoritative voice that holds weight. Mercury sextile to the moon allows him to effortlessly communicate with the public, expressing himself in a way that feels natural and heartfelt. It enables him to communicate with sincerity and authenticity. Mercury also rules his 7th house of partnerships and marriage. This suggests that he will meet his future spouse through work or work-related opportunities. His spouse is likely to be an intellectual, an artist, or possibly a public figure. With the ruler of the 7th house positioned at the highest point of the chart, there is a strong desire to showcase and publicly acknowledge his partner as well. With both Venus and Mars in water signs, RM is an introverted lover, more receptive than assertive. He tends to play the role of the caretaker and nurturer in relationships. With Mars in Cancer, he attracts love through emotional empathy and sensitivity. However, Mars's opposition to Uranus and Neptune creates an undercurrent of unpredictability and inconsistency. This suggests that RM may struggle with following through in relationships, as he may feel torn between the desire for emotional bonds and the urge for independence and self-reliance. The influence of Neptune can also blur the lines between reality and idealism in his love life. Neptune's pull can make him lose touch with the practical aspects of a relationship. Sometimes he may find fantasies or idealized love stories more captivating than real-life connections. With Mars opposite Uranus, RM can be resistant and unreliable. He craves independence and unconstrained freedom, which can lead to sudden shifts in his desires, actions, and pursuits when it comes to romantic encounters. These oppositions do tend to create a strong tendency for projection in relationships. He can attract partners who will reflect his own unresolved emotional conflicts, like restlessness, inconsistency, or escapism. But more often than not, they are merely mirrors of his own internal tensions, offering him a chance to face these aspects of his nature. On the other hand, Venus in Scorpio shows his attraction to deep, intense connections. He's drawn to partners who are loyal, devoted, and powerful, yet also somewhat mysterious and secretive. Venus in Scorpio craves emotional depth and transformation within relationships, which might contribute to his tendency to idealize or become fixated on a partner. Venus's trine to Saturn indicates that RM may attract partners who are disciplined, patient, and self-controlled. But there may also be rigidity or a sense of detachment in these relationships, as Saturn's influence can add tone of restriction or emotional distance. Love and attraction might not come easily or consistently for RM. The conditions of his Venus and Mars can cause confusion, frustration, and delays in forming lasting, stable relationships. His soulmates are likely to have Gemini or Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, reflecting the signs of his 7th house and the sign Mercury occupies. Most of his partners are likely to be intellectuals, but his ideal match would also have strong water placements, such as Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone with strong moon placement. He needs a partner who can bridge the gap between the heart and the mind, offering the emotional depth and intuitive connection he may not know he needs. That's all for today's reading. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth astrology readings. See you next time.